you think about like a lot of the comments that you see online. If somebody's successful, someone's got a great physique, whatever, it's like it has to be something other than their work.
Right.
It's like it's their genetics, they're on steroids, they're gifted, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, those people are being controlled.
Yes.
They've controlled themselves by an environment that is not conducive to their future at all. And that's why I always tell people, you know, are you going to control your environment or are you going to be controlled by it? You know, we travel a lot, travel 9 months of the year, but we're able to stick to our workouts, stick to our nutrition. However, how many people out there use that as an excuse?
Yes.
Because they've justified it and allowed themselves to get controlled by this excuse. Well, you know, different strokes for different folks.
All right.
You know, like there's a guy called Mike O'Hearn that is very well known in the bodybuilding industry. He doesn't compete as a bodybuilder anymore, but absolute natural freak. I'd say 99% of the people out there think that he's not natural, but I choose to believe that he is natural because that then opens the ceiling for me and my capabilities and what's possible. Will I reach that status? No way, but I could possibly get closer to it. You know, and I think that's where people hold themselves back. They ridicule and justify their own excuses and their own complacency.
Yeah, the becoming a victim to the circumstances. You know, seems to be the thing that people do. All these circumstances, reasons why they can't, you know, get the physique they want or have the success they want at work, or this person is holding them back. It's them. But really not taking a look at within, you know, that personal responsibility that, you know, if it's to be, it's up to me. You know, I've got to make it happen. Doesn't mean you can't bring along, because, you know, to be really successful, you've got to have a great team. You know, and you've got to have everybody else rise up with you and have a shared vision. But ultimately, you know, I'm the one responsible for my life and nobody else. And I think that we're seeing people push that idea away and put everybody else as the reason that they're not successful.
Yeah, because it's the easy way out, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, and yeah, I 100% agree with you that you put people in position that are much more powerful and stronger than you are in those certain areas. And, you know, we say that we stand on the shoulders of giants, and that's why we see further. So that's what we do, you know.
Yeah.
And like I have so many weaknesses, but my strength is recognizing them and put people in those positions that can work on those strengths.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you know, understanding our weaknesses and not having an ego so much that we can't acknowledge it and put people in place that are better at those things.
Yeah.
What do you think it is that allows us to do something like that, but keeps others from doing it?
I don't know. I think it's just like, you know, that person who broke the 4-minute mile the first time, you know, nobody did. And then all of a sudden, a few years later, school kids are doing it.
Yeah, actually, for those that haven't heard the 4-minute mile, like talk about that.
Yeah. So I can't remember what year it was, but, you know, the first person that broke that 4-minute mile, everybody thought was an impossibility, that it couldn't be done. You know, nobody came close to that. But then very shortly after that 4-minute mile was broken, someone else broke it. Then someone else, someone else, someone else. And then, like I said, you know, some years later, we had people in school that were beating that. And now I don't even know what the record is right now. But we see that all the time. You know, we see it in bodybuilding. You know, you see the mass monsters, like a Dorian Yates brought in mass monsters. And then all of a sudden, everyone got bigger. You know, nobody thought that was possible until he brought it in. And just, we see it in a lot of other sports, you know. And like, look at MMA compared to what it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We saw those calf kicks on Conor. It's like, who
Where did they
that?
come from?
Yeah, exactly. Now everyone's doing it, you know. So, you know, I think, you know, people just need to see that to understand, okay, that is possible to me.
Yeah.
And then they do it. But some people will learn by observation. Other people, like I said, they have jealousy, you know, whatever it is that's holding them back. They have negative connotations. Maybe they're just not putting out positivity in the universe.
Yeah.
Maybe they wake up and just stare at their phone, so they utilize all their dopamine, and they don't have anything left midway through the day to actually put it out into anything good.
Yeah, you know, I think about this a lot because I think a lot of well-intended people in society are trying to help certain groups that might not have had the same situations that we had growing up. You know, good parents, you know, learn certain values, etc. But they call them names like marginalized or oppressed, and they do it in a way we've got to help these groups of people. So it's they mean well by it. But my biggest fear of that is that those kids will actually believe it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's what's happening with society right now. Could we have a bunch of well-intended people trying to help people that might not have as much as them, using these words and names that those groups of people believe, and that becomes their ceiling. I can't be successful because I'm marginalized. I can't be successful because I'm oppressed. And they believe it, and they become those things that they're being told.